Why build custom AI agents or assistants when we have tools like ChatGPT already available? Now, this is a common question we hear all the time. After all, these large language models that are publicly available, a la ChatGPT, Gemini, or even Grok, they're already able to answer tons of questions out of the box and pretty good at that too. But here's the kicker. These generic chatbots like ChatGPT, they're amazing at general conversation, but they hit certain limits when you need specific, up-to-date, and private information. In this video, I will explain how Retrieval-Augmented Generation, aka RAG, helps solve this problem and why businesses and AI builders are buzzing about it. Hello and welcome. If we haven't met, I'm Tanvir. I'm a business consultant who wouldn't shut up about AI. In other words, I like to create educational and informational content for both businesses and AI enthusiasts. So, why not just stick with ChatGPT and be done with it? Well, let's do a comparison, shall we? If we look at traditional AI models like ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or any of those large language models that are publicly available out there, there are certain limitations that you should know about. First off, they are all limited by pre-trained data. While given how far these models have come, we might think that these models are some all-knowing beings that knows everything, but the truth is they are trained on data and that's what they largely rely on. Secondly, believe it or not, some of these models have a knowledge cutoff, which means they have outdated data. Models like ChatGPT have a knowledge cutoff. For example, GPT-4 knows nothing beyond 2021, so they miss recent developments. But you might think, hang on, if I ask ChatGPT a recent question, it's able to get me a more relevant, more recent response. Well, basically what it's doing a search and looking up information online, and that is no difference to a person who's just going to a web and doing a quick search in Google and getting the answers from the first couple of responses. There's a difference between pre-trained knowledge, which is something that has been trained specifically, so the information is pretty concrete and precise, as opposed to information that is searching up online, which may not always be correct or accurate or relevant to your question. Next, they lack specific context, which means they don't know your specific data, for example, your company's internal documents or your SOPs or your CRM data. So it's not able to provide you more customized private responses and not able to actually help your business in any meaningful way unless you manually paste your data in every single time, which by the way you shouldn't be doing for privacy reasons. And lastly, they tend to hallucinate. Believe it or not, they sometimes make stuff up. In simpler terms, a lot often they generate plausible sounding but inaccurate or fabricated answers to your questions. Now on the other side of the scale, we have RAG AI models. Let's have a look at some of the benefits that RAG provides us. First up, specificity and relevance. A RAG model can ensure that the answers are grounded in the exact source material that we care about. It dramatically cuts down on hallucinations because the agent quotes or synthesizes from real documents that you provide. Next, it has up-to-date knowledge. You can feed your RAG agent any fresh data, whether it's news or reports, your own CRM data, so it always has the latest info. You never need to worry about a fixed knowledge cutoff. For sensitive data, you can self-host your own database and even your LLM model. This keeps proprietary info in-house and complies with data policies. Automation and workflows. This is a big yes for businesses. RAG agents can be integrated into business processes and workflows. They can not only answer queries, but also trigger actions like generating a report or filling a form or calling an API, automatically boosting productivity. In summary, if you're looking for once-off, generic, non-private responses to your questions, then a standard model like ChatGPT will do just fine. However, if you're a business looking to integrate AI into your business operations and workflows, and you wanted to have the context of your business and have the domain knowledge, then a RAG model is definitely the way to go. Now let me show you how a RAG model actually works. Now very shortly I'm going to give you a demo of a real life RAG model in action, but before that I'd like you to understand the concept behind how a RAG model works as opposed to the pre-trained LLMs out there. So here's how a pre-trained LLM actually works. So in simple terms, a user sends its query into the pre-trained LLM. So that's basically you typing a question to something like ChatGPT, and the LLM uses its pre-trained knowledge and maybe it does a bit of web search to get some relevant recent information to the best of its capability, and then it'll generate a response and send it back to you. That's basically how a standard pre-trained LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, those models work. Now let's have a look at how a RAG-based LLM works. So when a user submits the query, before it's sent to the pre-trained LLM, a retriever model will send the query to the internal knowledge base. Now the internal knowledge base could have your internal documents or your company or business SOPs, your FAQs, and other knowledge articles, and then it'll find the relevant documents related to the user's query and send it back to the retriever, which will then combine with the user's query and send that to the pre-trained LLM. The difference is, in this scenario, the LLM not only has the user's query, it also has the relevant documents that it needs to refer to. So it has that additional context, the private information this time that it lacked before. So this time it combines the user's query with the pre-trained knowledge that it already has, and including the additional context from the knowledge base, and then it creates a more holistic and specific response back to the user. So I'd like to drill down a little bit into how the model actually stores the data in the knowledge base and how it actually retrieves the data, the relevant documentation when the user submits its query. So you don't really need to understand the technical terminology here, but I'm just trying to help you understand the concept behind how it actually works. For those who are curious, I will be creating tutorials down the track, and we'll be breaking this down in more detail. So the knowledge base can be comprised of what we call a document store, which can have the pre-existing or pre-uploaded documents, which could be your business FAQs or SOPs or CRM data or any relevant information you want the model to be aware of. Or it could be an additional document you may upload into the system that you also want the model to be across. Now these uploaded and pre-existing documents, they are chunked into smaller documents, like small paragraphs. This process is called chunking. Now once the documents are chunked, an embedding model is then used to convert these chunked documents into numerical embeddings, or also what's called vector embeddings. Think of these as digital identifiers for each of those chunk documents. Finally, the vector embeddings are stored into what's called a vector database, which allows the model to find relevant chunk documents when a user submits a query and send the relevant chunked documents back to the LLM model to generate a more precise response. So there you have it. That's how a RAG model works in theory. But as promised, I'm going to give you a demo now of how a RAG model actually works. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a tool called Flowise, which uses the popular LangChain language. Now, this is by no means a tutorial on how to use Flowise or how to build RAG models or RAG AI agents. That is going to be a whole another tutorial that I will be creating in one of my upcoming videos. But for now, let's jump into the demo. Okay, so we're in Flowise. So this is the tool that I'm going to be using to give you the demonstration, live demonstration about the differences between a standard AI model and a RAG AI model. So we'll create the standard AI model, which will be similar to something like ChatGPT. It'll actually use the OpenAI's ChatGPT model. And we will use a scenario where we'll ask it specific question about a particular business. Let's call it Danny's Lawn Care, and let's see how it responds. And then we're going to be building the RAG model, and we will create a knowledge base with an FAQ for that specific business. Okay, so let's start building. So we're going to be starting with a conversational chain, and we have to give a chat model. So we will probably use, so there's in Flowise there's quite a few chat models you can use from all different providers, but I'm going to be going with OpenAI, which is basically similar to ChatGPT. So let's connect that. We need to add our credentials for the API, which I already have set up, so I'm just going to add that in. For the model, we'll use GPT-4 mini for this one. Temperature, let's keep it 0.5. We've got to add a memory. Just going to be adding a inbuilt Flowise's inbuilt buffer memory. Let's arrange it a little bit. Okay, so believe it or not, we've got our first model set up. This is the standard ChatGPT model, if you like. So let's test it out. So let's open the chat, and I'm going to be asking it some basic questions about Danny's lawn care. What can you tell me about Danny's lawn care? Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty much telling us straight away that it doesn't have specific information about any business called Danny's Lawn Care, and it's kind of assuming, hey, there could be many local companies with a similar name. Anyway, so it doesn't have the context about Danny's Lawn Care. Let's try and dig in a little bit more. I'm going to ask it what services do they provide. So once again, it doesn't have any specific context, so it's just giving us a very generic response. Okay, so that didn't go too well, so let's clear that out. And I'm going to be deleting all of this, and this time we're going to be building our RAG model. And for this, I will be using a conversational retrieval chain. Now, this is where you might want to recall the concept that I showed you before, how a RAG model works. You'll actually see it in action this time. Okay, so let's add the chat model, and once again we're going to be using OpenAI model, so I'm just going to add that in. Let's connect that. I'll add my API credentials. Again, we're going to stick to GPT-4 mini model. Temperature, let's keep it the same as before, 0.5. Now we need to add a vector store. So if you remember, any document that we upload into the knowledge base, that needs to be added to a vector store. So in Flowise, we can add vector stores from quite a few different providers, but I'm going to be sticking to this provider called Pinecone, if I can find it. There we are. Okay, so let's add the vector store. Now we also need to add the embeddings. So if you remember, any document that we upload, that needs to be embedded into vectors, and for that we need an embedding model. And once again, I'm going to be using OpenAI's embedding model here. So let's add that in. Should be able to use my same API credentials. The model name for embedding, I'm just going to keep it the same as the default one right here. And we also need a document store or document uploader in this instance. So I've got a PDF file that I'm going to be showing in a second, which is basically a FAQ for that business called Danny's Lawn Care, which has a lot more specific information about the business. I will add a PDF file loader, and let's connect that to the vector store, vector database. And if you remember that when we upload a document, that needs to be chunked. That's the first step, where it actually chunks the document into smaller pieces. So we'll need a text splitter here. Okay, so I'll be using recursive character text splitter for this instance. So let's connect that, and I'll keep the chunk size to 1000 and chunk overlap to 200. It's a small document, so I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. And let's upload our document. So here's the FAQ. So before I actually show you how it's going to play out, I just want to show you the FAQ so you can see how it's actually pulling out this information. All right, so I'm just going to flash it up on the screen. So here's the FAQ document, which has a lot more information about Danny's Lawn Care, about what kind of services they provide, where they're based, when are they open, how much do they charge for inspections and stuff like that, how to book them, and all that kind of good stuff. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but there's two specific questions we might ask it, and I just want you to look at some of the answers here so you can see that how it's actually pulling out this information from the knowledge base. So we're going to be asking it how much it charges for commercial lawn care in terms of inspections. As you can see, they charge $500 inspection, and then we might ask it a follow-up question maybe, which is what is included in the $500 commercial lawn care inspection, and we expect that the model will spit out this information. Okay, all right, so let's give that a go now. Sorry, I forgot, I need to add my Pinecone API credentials. Thankfully I've got it set up, so I'm just going to select it here, and I believe the index that I had set up is Flowise demo. Okay, one last thing, we still got to add a memory for the conversational QA chains. Once again, I'll be adding the built-in buffer memory. Okay, hopefully I've connected all the dots, so we should be able to see it in action. One last step we need to do is upsert all the documents, the document that we have just added, Danny's Lawn Care FAQ. We need to upsert that into the vector database. So this is how you actually store any document that you add into the vector database, and then it stays there once it's upserted. And as you can see, the chunking process have broken the document down into 6 smaller documents, if you may. So as you can see, so there's 6 documents added, and it's broken it down in this manner. Okay, so let's close it and we will give it a go now. All right, let's ask the same question. What can you tell us about Danny's lawn care? Okay, so this time we're getting a lot more specific information about Danny's lawn care. No longer it's giving us a generic response where it doesn't know who Danny's lawn care is. It definitely knows this time who they are, what kind of service they provide, and it's even mentioned about the $500 inspection right out of the box. Okay, so once again, we're going to try and confuse the model, and let's see if we can still stick to the knowledge and the FAQs that has been provided. So let's ask again, how much do they charge for commercial lawn care? Okay, so you get very specific and precise response. It's no longer hallucinating, no longer confused about what to tell us. Let's go one level deeper and we'll ask it what is included in the $500 commercial lawn inspection. Okay, that's not expected. Let's try again. We're gonna ask it again. What is included in the commercial lawn inspection? Okay, so that's better. So yeah, so it's given us those 4 key items that were in the FAQ. So if you'd like to validate, let's bring up the FAQ once again. So these were the 4 items that are covered in the inspection. And as you can see, it was able to pull out that information right out of the FAQ. So the reason we didn't get a response here is because we didn't actually provide any system prompts to this model to be able to handle any kind of situations where maybe the instruction provided by the user is not too clear. In those situations, we expect we should be providing a lot more detailed system prompt so the model actually knows how to handle the situations and ask to clarify. But anyway, this is just a quick demo to show the difference between a standard AI model and a RAG AI model. So there you have it. As you can see, with just a simple FAQ document, we were able to make our AI model a lot more private. So it knows a lot more information about our business, which makes it a whole lot smarter than ChatGPT when it comes to our own business. So just imagine what it's capable of doing once you feed it your website information and maybe your internal process documents, SOPs, your customer CRM data. All of a sudden, the simple chat model becomes a specialized agent for your business. So there you have it. Once again, why should businesses and AI builders care about RAG? Simply because it turns a generic chatbot into a customized knowledge worker for your specific domain. It means accuracy, relevance, privacy, and automation, all crucial for real-life business use cases. In upcoming videos, we'll dive even deeper, exploring advanced RAG architectures, building autonomous agents, and integrating these tools into actual workflows. But for now, remember, RAG AI agents are the next step up from ChatGPT when you need answers you can trust and work done for you. If you are enjoying content like this, keep watching the channel for more deep dives into AI agents and assistants. But for now, that'll be it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.